Good morning. Thank you. One mind, truly. All that I had, not all, but so much of what I had planned to share just came out of Brenda's mouth. So I'm just going to sing to you. One mind, one heart, one mouth. Mm. Can we do something a little silly together? Okay. You just go like this, like collarbone, dip down. Okay, these are just nice spots to release. And now we get to be cavemen and women. I do this to warm my voice up, and I forgot on the way home. Chris is used to this. But I want you to do, like the Uga Chaka thing. I want you to do the first syllable. Ready? Oh, come on. You ready? Oh, nice. Nice. One more time. All right. Thank you. Let's shake it out. Wasn't that fun? When we sing, it's kind of like we're doing the but we're putting like fairy dust sparkles around. And this is a really good time in history to disseminate your fairy dust. I've been finding this past week that some people want to have some really intense conversations, and they refuse to agree with me that we all have glasses on. They're like, I don't have glasses on. I see things perfectly, and they're this way and no other way. And I'll tell you what, this is a concert on embodied freedom, and we're going to touch back to that wonderful basket of the gift of freedom that Brenda so beautifully laid into our arms and our hearts. That's where we are coming from, is this freedom that we embody. And so we are free to be silly, we are free to cry, we are free to have emotional reactions. We're not free to judge or say hurtful things. That's not the freedom we're talking about. And there's a lot of that freedom in the air right now. Are you guys feeling it at all? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had a double scoop of that, triple scoop maybe this week. And so we're going to explore some ways that we can realize this freedom. And as I was thinking about this time together with you, a lot of words came to mind, and they ended with ATE, eight. I mean, not like, I remember when I was a kid, my grandma used to get a kick out of some commercial. It's like, Ma, Pa's at the table, Pa's half it. Like, not that eight, but it kind of is like that it. And I was thinking about liberate. And another word came in really strongly. It has to do with the way our body and our energy is designed, our brains, and it's pendulate. So we're going to liberate, pendulate to liberate. That makes sense? Okay. So I'm just going to put some things out, and you put them together any way that works best for you. Okay, so we talked about fairy dust when we are singing, and I'm going to ask you to help me sing a little bit. When we sing and the fairy dust, the sparkles go out, they settle on us, they show us our own glasses, and any smudginess on my glasses kind of like, oh, goodness, look at that. Okay, I guess I can deal with that, or I can continue to see in a blurry way. And if someone is wanting to engage with us or is engaging us or trying to suck us in, if we sprinkle the fairy dust, the sparkles, and they say, I don't have any glasses, and you go, poof, and they can sit there and say they have no glasses, and there's fairy dust stuck all over their glasses. So just another little tidbit. And here's another tidbit that we'll come back to in the next few minutes together. And that's a butterfly. Who loves butterflies? Yes, yes. So we have this beautiful swallowtail that shows up. And I think it was yesterday, I came out of the shop, I'm on this little sidewalk, and the butterfly's like, blue, 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 blue. It like almost landed on my nose. And when we, and of course, that's a dear one. That's Gabe. That's Lenise. That's my grandma, you know. Whoever comes to mind, I'm like, say hello, and I call them by name. So, the shape of a butterfly, open. It's kind of like this, right? It's kind of like a, let's just close our eyes for a sec, and with our eyes, let's draw the shape of a butterfly. So we're starting in the middle, we're going up on one side, our eyes are going way out there, big butterfly, going way down low to our feet, coming back to the middle, and up the other side, and out, around, down low, coming up. And this is one way, and we can, thank you, just draw it with our breath, like, you move the line any way you wish. It's a sideways figure eight, that butterfly. That is the shape that we're going to be revisiting again and again. And I invite you, anytime in anything I say or sing that is just bringing up a little bit of a emotional reaction or a mental picture that's intense in any way, if it's intense in a hard way, you know, we bring that around to the middle, and we're going to scoop what Brenda shared with us and bring that back to the middle. If it's a super joyful, happy, I can hardly stand it, I'm so happy, we scoop that too. We're like, oh, yes. And we scoop that yes up to the middle, and anything that is troubling or concerning to us, we bring that to the other side, and we just mix it all up in that butterfly. Pendulate to liberate. Have you ever noticed when you know where you're from, it makes where you're going a lot easier? So this is just a simple little song, and has a chorus and a verse or two. And I'd like you to do your cavewoman, caveman thing in at least one part. And it doesn't have to be that cavey, but you can if you want. And I just want you to do the I am. So it's from heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. Here we go. From heaven and of the earth, and spirit's breath I breathe. From heaven and of the earth, beholding the starry. From heaven and of the earth, awakening to me. Here I am, as I am, in the truth that sets me free. Here we go. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. You can snap if you want. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. One more time. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. Let's do one more verse. From heaven and of the earth, connecting with my soul. From heaven and of the earth, with joy down in my bones. comes from heaven and of the earth. I'm singing my way home. Here I am, as I am, perfectly complete and whole. Here we go. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. Sing the whole thing with me. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. One more time. From heaven and of the earth, I am from heaven and earth. Woo! You guys are good. Have you ever heard that Wayne Dyer, the saying, when I change the way I look at things, the things I look at change. Okay, so we're going to celebrate that. And actually, if I picture our time together as a circle, we're ending with that 8 word that is celebrate. And we are going to close the circle and celebrate this, because this is a fact. When I change the way that I see, that everything I look at changes, right? When I change, here's your part. When I change the way that I see. When I change the way that I see. When I change the way that I see. When I change the way that I see, I'm gonna see life so differently, and everything I see will change. When I change the way that I see. When I change the way that I see. When I change the way that I see. When I change the way that I see, I'm gonna see life so differently. Everything I see will change. Let's make it. Now I change. Now I change. Now I change. I change the way that I see. Now I change. Now I change. I change the way that I see. Now I change. I change the way that I see. Now I change the way that I see. And their life differently. Everything I see will change. Everything I see will change. As I change the way that I see. Oh, isn't that fun? Yeah. So pendulating. Pendulating is great. To pendulate is great because it does liberate. You know, Brenda painted a picture of us of all things being one, and in our deep knowing, we know that is absolutely true. So, what's the deal with the separations? We're like, no, there are no separations. And yet something will pop up in front of me that freaks me out. What's up with that? Or something happens that brings up a real intense emotional reaction. There's a lot of that going on these days. I look at the news, I cry. Maybe that's because I'm feeling the oneness. Or maybe there's something that I'm jerking away from that. Like, no, that can't happen. That is not okay. It's a roller coaster time. And that's why we need to pendulate. So, what are we pendulating with? Obviously, we're pendulating with the truth, the oneness, the unchanging, timeless truth that we're home. We're like a turtle, you know? The turtle doesn't say, oh, where's my house? Oh, it's right here, right? We are like turtles, truly. We were made that way with our souls. Our souls are never not with us. And that deepest part of us, that indescribable essence that is truly who we are, is unchanging, is complete, is not affected by the stuff that freaks the rest of us out, the rest of the parts of me out. And so sometimes I feel like I'm in the place called, I'll call it the almost land. Like, I know something, I kind of get it, I'm almost there, I'm kind of not quite there, but I know I truly am there. Do you guys ever get in that space? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I call that the almost land. I wrote a song about 15 years ago, 14 years ago, and it's gone through changes. Sometimes I just don't know what to do, so I'll just sit my butt at the piano and something happens, and that's what this song is about. And I realized looking at it, oh my gosh, she's pendulating. So I noticed that in verse 1, I'm pendulating from despair to hope. The best I could find at that time was a hope, and the rest was just despair. The second verse actually is kind of odd, but it was in a situation where somebody was just so upset they couldn't express it in words, and so they threw a really heavy metal object that just missed my head and took a chunk out of the wooden post on my deck. And of course, everything was fine as that thing was going by, but it upheaved me a bit, and so I wrote the second verse. And the third verse, I pendulated from betrayal to freedom. You know, betrayal of thinking, hey, I'm pouring my life and my years into this something that's really good, and then, nah, not really what you thought. Too bad. Better luck next time. Right? So that's my third verse. But you know what? I had come to some learning, and the reason I'm saying this is because it doesn't matter what my story is, it's your story. And it doesn't matter what the details are of your story, that's my story. Because you had some frequencies in your story, some energetic frequencies and vibrations, and I have the same in my stories. So there are no separations here, even if the details are a little different. These are your stories. And so I invite you in this song to pendulate with me during the song. I'm going to start, I'm going to pause. Here's the sideways butterfly. Here's the sideways 8 in the shape of a butterfly. And we're pendulating from what is doing this a little harder than that, and what is deep inside saying, all is well. Like, oh, even though this horrible thing is happening, all is well, truly, all is well. You know, even though this is super dramatic and intense, it is what it is. This is true. You know, so we're pendulating. And you can do that actually with your hands. You can do that, you know, with your shoulders. I do that with my hips in front of the refrigerator. I'm like, what am I going to make for dinner? And I pendulate. It helps in all kinds of ways. And basically, it dissolves the non-realities. And it brings us into the reality, which is always a higher place. Always a higher place. And so the almost land has a lot to do with freedom. In the almost land, I am brave and wise and beautiful. I almost see what I believe. The loveliness I feel is me. And then my longing is unleashed like a hungry storm. a refuge safe and warm in the almost land. I almost understand what flows here from my hand. In the almost land, the missile from behind struck close. I felt its power rushing by. The impact burst all reasoning. Why? Anger goes unleashed in nightmare fear against the shield that is me, who soon becomes a cradling heart for doubts to be held near in the almost land. I almost understand the life within my hands. In the almost land, will I, like Moses, stand almost in the promised land. Oh, the promised land. In the almost land, my years all gather round me with stories of what might have been, as if they are my secret friends. And then my sorrow is unleashed in wordless heaves. I wail above their whispers and drown their damning rebel force until I am free in the almost land. I start to understand the love at my command, the love at my command. In the almost land, I am brave and wise and beautiful. Now my eyes have learned to see the soul I love so much is me. In the almost land, I finally understand. I'm in that promised land, the promised land. In the almost land, healed and free I stand, fully in, firmly on the promised land. Home in the promised land of the almost land. So we are walking around in the almost land as the promised land. It's who we are. It's just like the turtle. That home is just who the turtle is. It's just who we are. Don't you love it when your notes just go all over the floor? All right, we're pendulating to liberate. Now we get to resonate. Yeah. Resonate. Resonation. This song. I heard a saying once, and it was, In the presence of love, all things are healed. And any word you want to put in there that it describes perfection, in the presence of love, it is. Does this think so? Sometimes it's almost there. No, that's okay. Little darling, it spins. Okay, good. So, as you listen to the song, I invite you to take anything in your life that's in a messed up place and just bring it into the presence of love. Because it is already there, but this, you can take your glasses off and see it. Oh, yes, of course. And if that's a little difficult, do the butterfly, sideways butterfly. In the presence of love, all things are clear. In the presence of love, every fear disappears. The all in all alive in me calls me now to see. In the presence of love, all is clear. In the presence of love, all things are healed. In the presence of love, endless life is revealed. The all in all embracing me calls me now to see. In the presence of love, all is healed. Everywhere, love is there, beckoning with joy to share. Near and far, I feel my heart opening from my soul unto see. In the presence of love, all is complete. In the presence of love, manna fills every need. The all in all who sings through me calls me now to feel. In the presence of love, I am free. Everywhere, love is there, beckoning with joy to share. Near and far, I feel my heart opening for my soul to sing. Yahweh, thank you. Yahweh, I love you. The all in all alive as me is singing what is real. In the presence of love, all is clear. In the presence of love, all is healed. In the presence of love, all are free. Yeah. All right. We can always, however we word that, That's our promised land. That's the turtle. That's just the way it is.
That's what's in us.
Yes, it's who we are. Yes. I'm going to read something to you. So we're going to pendulate. We basked, we were permeated, and now it's back to the news. Okay.
I know.
We bring that non-resistance into the butterfly, sister. It is what is going on the stage. It is definitely what's happening on the stage.
Also, it's catching.
That's why we're here.
That's
Yeah. Yes. Well, there is resonance. There is this cognitive dissonant resonance that is going off. It's kind of like this. And we don't like to hear this, you know, but it's going off. Okay. So we're going to we're going to stay in that knowing of the presence that holds all things, including this. It's holding this, holding it strong. No problem. It can hold everything. It does hold everything. Kahlil Gibran once wrote, "Pity the nation divided into fragments, each fragment deeming itself a nation." Are you picking up any of this? And so 35 years ago, there's a poet named Lawrence Ferlinghetti who wrote a poem off of that was inspired from that. And he was kind of like, pity the nation, pity the nation. So I took the liberty to replace that with a higher vibration. And I'm saying love. So every time you hear the word love in this poem, it was pity, and we're turning it into love. Love the nation whose people are sheep and whose shepherds mislead them. Love the nation whose leaders are liars, whose sages are silenced, whose bigots haunt the airwaves. Love the nation that raises not its voice except to praise conquerors and acclaim the bully as hero, and aims to rule the world by force and by torture. Love the nation that knows no other language but its own, and no other culture but its own. Love the nation whose breath is money, and I would say greed, and sleeps the sleep of the too well-fed. Love the nation, oh, love the people who allow their rights to erode and their freedoms to be washed away. My country, tears of thee, sweet land of liberty. Okay, all of that, the presence of love. False freedom. False freedom, true freedom. There's someone named Judith Butler who said that we live among many who are in a dangerous and misguided form of liberation, addicted to the thrill, the sense of exhilaration of being free to hate, free to be irrational, free to say whatever you want without regard to whether it's true or hurtful. And as we're seeing on the news, not just say, but do. Do. So in November, when the election results came in, I had a traumatic reaction. And I was sobbing, I was seeing people in Manzanar again, you know, and I had a traumatic reaction when I visited Manzanar, you know, and it just slammed me. I'm like, what do I do with this? I pendulate. So that was one side of the butterfly. And fortunately, the presence, the indescribable, almighty, everywhere presence is big enough for even that. From a 1 to 10, maybe I felt like an 11. 11 is no problem for the presence. And so I brought it to the presence, and I resonated, both sides. And guess what happened? I recalibrated and I elevated. And so this is a song kind of chronicling that process. And it's your story too. Isn't it nice to say that? And the ego is like, what? And you're like, go stifle yourself. You know? So I invite you to pendulate on the governmental tsunami that is happening right now and the people who are suffering in its wake. Okay, we know how horrible it is, and we know how true the true freedom is. And so we're scooping up one, we're holding it in our hearts, and we're doing this with the other. Side figure 8. My country, tears from thee, cried in a dream to me. For thee I sing. Migrants were running hard, hunted down near and far. Families were grieving, dearest ones were leaving. Wild tidal waves of blood broke in an angry flood, frightened and betraying. And then I heard an angel saying, the life you see, it's more than what it seems. Find yourself awake inside the dream. Find yourself awake. Be yourself awake. Be yourself awakened in this dream. Whispered in hope to me, let freedom ring, let it ring, let it ring, let freedom ring. You know, I recorded this song, and I actually found a sound bite of the Liberty Bell ringing, and I put it at the end. Yeah. And we ring our freedom. We are the bell ringers. We are the bells ringing. Okay? We are. Oh my. I want to read something to you from the good book. Isn't it good to know that there are so many inspired writings to help us along? So many. So many. This one has been really key to me over the years. It's from the book of Isaiah 43, verse 2. And this is from the I Am. This is from the presence that nobody knows the exact name. There's a lot of theories. It is from the All in All. When you pass through water, I will be with you. I'm thinking of the people in Texas. Oh, yeah, they were not alone. When you pass through rivers, they will not overwhelm you. They may overwhelm your body. They will not overwhelm you. You are safe perpetually. When you walk through fire, you will not be scorched. The flame will not burn you. Every word and every action, every breath we breathe can come from this truth. It's who we are. Ernest Holmes says to be well, happy, and to express freedom is to be in accord with divine law and wisdom. Yes, we grieve, but we pendulate the grief with joy, right? Yeah. It's not a shallow, zippity, happy thing. It's not bubbles. It's a deep river that may look like it disappears because it goes underground, but the river's so strong, you don't see it, but it gushes out somewhere else because it was never stopped and it never dried up. It's who we are. It's grace. So let's see. I have a list of 8 words. Innovate. Are we open to innovate? Has there ever been a time like this in your life? And so, part of the innovating is doing something that may seem absolutely absurd, like celebrating. I have a celebration song. Yeah. It seems kind of silly, but it's celebrating how big the basket is. I mean, I'm imagining the universe of our freedom, of all that we are free to be. So this song touches on some aspects of that. And it's just celebrating that we are not stuck in a crack, because there are no cracks, really. Isn't that good? Do you guys want to get up and you want to do some figure 8 things? I won't tell anybody. You can if you want. Be unborn, be undying, be surrendered, be mighty, be of innocence, be of consequence, be magnificently free to be remembering, be unknowing, be invisible, be glowing, be irreverent, be
sacrament. Be extravagantly free to be expanded, be enfolded, be commingled, be unmolded, be a bleeding heart, be a guiding star. In sober ecstasy, be gloriously, luminously fearless, and unto simplicity free unto be. In sober ecstasy, be gloriously, luminously fearless, in utter simplicity, free to be. Yeah, 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 to be. And that is all. That's all. Oh, thank you so much. You know, I used to love Star Trek: The Next Generation with Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Of course, I didn't say that right. But do you remember his last words on every episode? You know, he's got everybody's kind of, we got everything lined up. Everybody's at their stations. Things are going well. Whatever catastrophe almost happened has been alleviated, and everybody's in their heart coherence. And he looks to his colleague and he says, engage. Right? So here we are. We are free to engage. And do not let anybody or anything tell you that, oh, you know, if you just get this, you'll be free. Because that's so silly. So anytime you feel like, oh, if I could only have this experience, go to this workshop, do this seminar, go to this retreat, you know, read this book, then I'll be really free. I want you to just remember the turtle. And if I ever get that, you know, just give me some turtle signal. Because the truth is our freedom is intact. And we can't get it anywhere else because it never left, because it's already here. So, you know, it's kind of like if you have something in your hand, you're like, give me something in my hand. You're like, wait a minute, you have it, it's in your hand. It's kind of like when I'm looking for my glasses in there, you know. Right? So, from there, be free, engage. Yeah, thank you. And so it is.